Hey ghouls and gals, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and today's video is going to be the halfway to Halloween book tag. This was created from Lauren over at Happy Haunts Library and she tagged me in her video and I'm really excited to do this tag. It's a little bit crazy that already this year we're already at like the halfway to Halloween point, which I'm super excited about, but boy does time fly. So I will be leaving the information down below, so go follow Lauren at Happy Haunts Library. This was such a fun tag to watch her video and then start to plan out my answers. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Question number one is, are you a fan of haunted houses? And yes, I absolutely am. Haunted house horror is one of my favorite subgenres of horror actually, but even just in like the Halloween season, visiting Halloween haunts and haunted attractions and all of that, I love a good haunted house. I think they're fun. I think they're a great time. Now, I would never actually do like one of the extreme haunted scares, haunted house attractions. Like I think when they let the people touch you and you break down some barriers like that, it becomes less fun of an experience for me. So I'll probably never do anything extreme like that, but I love haunted attractions, haunted houses, exploring them, whether it is for the Halloween season and it's a fictionalized story and like a haunted attraction, or if it's touring a house that is purportedly haunted. Love a good haunted house. Question number two is, what is your favorite ghost story slash haunted lore? And this one, I was really overthinking it at first, because just thinking about all of the stories and all of the haunted houses, ghost stories, haunted lore that I know and I enjoy, I was trying to narrow it down to my number one, and I was overthinking it. I was having a really hard time. So just rapid fire some of my favorite like haunted locations or haunted lore sort of things. First of all, Mansfield Reformatory. I used to live and go to college right by this location. It's a gorgeous building. They have historical tours as well as haunts during the Halloween season, and this was also one of the locations where the Shawshank Redemption was filmed. So this is just such a gorgeous building, and I have been and explored there with a tour group. The people who run the tours are all really wonderful and friendly. So that's a location that is just near and dear to my heart because I did used to live right by there. Another one would be Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum. Ghost Adventures is just such a nostalgic guilty pleasure TV show. I remember when it was first coming out, having sleepovers with my friends and trying to watch it and not be scared about Ghost Adventures. And so when I got married actually in Las Vegas, the Haunted Museum was there and we did go, and it was really cool. Now, there were some aspects that I didn't necessarily love. Like I don't love the collection of serial killer memorabilia, but I did love the rooms with like the haunted dolls, and just there was a lot of cool stuff at that museum. It did kind of feel like a haunted, like a Halloween haunt attraction for a lot of it, and it was a really fun experience. Again, the tour guides were so engaging and really had a fun time. Like with at least my group, we had a great time with our tour guides and just the people that I did the tour with. It was a whole lot of fun. So those are some recent haunts that I do really have a soft spot for. And then the last thing, this is not, I wouldn't consider it haunted lore, but it's something that I'm very much kind of obsessed with at the moment. And I didn't realize it before I started looking up videos of this on TikTok and YouTube, that it's a thing that a lot of people have a fear of. So skip forward about 30 seconds to a minute if you have subcanrophobia, like the fear of things submerged underwater, or animatronics. I've been really into looking at just like urban exploration, but urban exploration in places like abandoned theme parks, and there are a couple of Disney properties that still have animatronics that are in motion or defunct, and just I think that is so cool and interesting. And Defunctland actually did a two-part it's going to be a two-parter, the second part coming out in June or July, but a whole history of animatronics. And I just think they're so fascinating, and I really love them and love learning more about them, and just combining that with the urban exploration. I know a lot of people think that that's very creepy, so I guess that could count as haunted lore. I'm just very fascinated by that, and I think it's so cool watching like old rides that no longer exist with older animatronics, or finding them in the wild or at locations that are abandoned. The next question is, do you plan on going Halloween decor hunting this year? If so, what items do you hope to find? And I'm not usually one who does a lot of Halloween decor hunting. If I do, I'm very much like a window shopper for a lot of reasons. One of them being, like, right now I don't live in a location that first of all gets a lot of Halloween. We don't really get a lot of Halloween in our big box stores, at least as much as other locations that I've noticed. Also, we are planning on moving soon, so the less knickknacks that I accumulate, the better and easier that process will be. But also, just this year in specific, I am on a very, like, it's not a no buy. I don't like setting really strict rules for myself like that, but I'm really trying to be so intentional about everything that is a non-essential I'm buying from a small business. So there are lots of small businesses that I'll probably be shopping for Halloween stuff. Just a couple of my favorites. We have Kike earrings. They have so many fun earrings, and they do lots of themed launches. So they are a great business that I love. My shirts, one that I'm wearing right now, Studio House Designs, does really exciting horror-centric t-shirts. I like them because I love horror, but I also like brightly colored things, so that really fits that niche. Another store, Graveyard Goods, does this really well. I feel like whenever I get a compliment on any of my t-shirts, it's from one of those two stores, so I really like those. And then I also love the Burlap Bag Candle Co. for their candles. So those are some of the small businesses that I really like and prioritize. So if I'm doing anything this year, I'm probably going to be shopping on Etsy or going to local markets and things like that, and trying to get maybe just a couple fun Halloween items from small businesses. So no big, huge plans to go shopping at a bunch of different stores. I'll probably live vicariously through other people on YouTube. But yeah, those are some of my go-to stores for spooky seasonal items. The next question is candy corn, love it or hate it? Listen, I love candy corn. I cannot eat it anymore. I'm actually vegan, and I have not found a vegan candy corn that exists, which is so funny because I am the only person in my family circle of friends. I have met online friends that like candy corn, but just in my physical life, I was the only person I knew who liked candy corn, and now I'm the only person that I know that can't eat it because of the animal products in there. But yeah, I used to love candy corn, and I still love like the candy corn aesthetic. There are a lot of candy corn flavored things that I buy. There's a candy corn flavored candle that I had last year that I liked. So I love candy corn, can't eat the actual thing anymore. I even have a candy corn milkshake tattoo. So I do like candy corn. I still love the aesthetic. Looking for a vegan candy corn option. If you know any, let me know down below because I do miss it. Question number 5 is, are you big into costumes and dressing up for Halloween? If so, what is your favorite costume of all time? And honestly, some of the favorite costumes that I've had were ones where I wasn't planning on doing anything, and then last minute kind of cobbled a costume together. A couple of years ago, I went as Freddy Krueger, and that was something where I wasn't anticipating on doing anything for Halloween until the day of, or a couple days before, and we had to quickly gather everything together. So me and my partner went as Jason and Freddy, and that was a fun last minute costume that we actually had a lot of fun putting together as a kid. I think my favorite costume was my mom helped me put together in 6th grade. I was Christine Daae from the Phantom of the Opera. I don't have any photos of that, but I do also have like a vampire costume I was at for 5th grade. So Luckily, like my mom always really helps me find really great costumes and just helps me put together, like I had a vision every year and she helps me execute that. So definitely have had some great costumes throughout the year. As an adult, I tend to dress up a little bit less, but my kid costumes, my childhood costumes, I loved. Question number 6 is, what is one activity or experience that is on your spooky season bucket list this year? And a couple of things. I definitely want to go to see some haunted locations here in Arkansas. Like I mentioned before, we are planning on moving within the year, so this is what is probably going to be my last autumn in Arkansas, so definitely want to make sure that we hit some haunted locations. There is the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. That's a little bit of a drive for me, but it's apparently one of the most haunted hotels in the United States. That would be fun. Also in Hot Springs, there is a wax museum that is known pretty infamously for its really bad wax figures. Like, they are not Madame Tussauds level. They are not like really realistic. They all look a little bit off. So I kind of want to go and see that. I feel like that could be fun. It just seems like a sort of like Atlas Obscura type of place, and because they're a little unsettling wax figurines, I figure that could be a good autumnal activity as well. So those are two things that I'd love to get to this Halloween season. Question number 7 is, what book, series, or movie screams Halloween to you? I've got a couple of answers for this one. In terms of books, Salem's Lot is so quintessentially fall. It just feels like autumn in a small town. The atmosphere in this book just screams Halloween to me. In terms of TV shows, The X-Files has a lot of episodes, in particular in season 1, that feel very autumnal. There's a lot of colorful leaves and the soundtrack. There's one, I forget the title, but it takes place in an asylum. That one in particular just feels very Halloween-y. Just the whole autumn in Vancouver, the first season, I feel like captures that season really well. And then for movies, The Exorcist Tubular Bells theme is perfect. It's a piece of music that just sounds like fall. It sounds like you're walking down a street and there are leaves on the ground. The Tubular Bells theme is just excellent for that. And then a childhood favorite, I loved The Haunted Mansion, the Eddie Murphy one as a kid. I would watch it so many times during the Halloween season. Honestly, during the whole entire year, that was one of my favorite movies for a really long time. I really love it. I like the new one as well, honestly. I was worried about the new one because I loved the old one so much. As a kid, I just thought it was such a good movie. I don't know if I would have watched it for the first time as an adult, I would have loved it as much, but as a kid, I can definitely look back at that movie and see how it's influenced, unfortunately for my partner, a lot of things in a house that I would absolutely love. And then just like the scary campiness of Haunted Mansion, I just love that movie. So those are the things that scream Halloween to me. I look a little different here. This is editing Taylor. I realized when I was editing this tag together that I forgot a question. So I'm just here to jump in and insert my answer to that question. So that was question number 8, and that is, how do you typically spend your Halloween night? And like I mentioned earlier in this tag, I don't really dress up or go out and do a lot of things. When I was a kid, obviously went trick-or-treating every year, and as an adult, it's quite boring. The place where I live actually doesn't do trick-or-treating or anything like that. The first year we were here, we were so excited. We had a big bowl full of candy. We were ready to pass out some candy and no one came. So unfortunately, we don't get trick-or-treaters or anything, but we make some chili. This is something that my mom made every single Halloween. Before we would go trick-or-treating, we would eat a bowl of chili and then get dressed into our costumes. That's important so you don't spill any chili on the costume. The smell and taste of chili is Halloween to me. So we make some chili, we watch a horror movie. For the past couple of years, I've tried to watch at least a horror movie every single day in October. I usually fall a couple of movies flat. that, but we usually save a classic for Halloween, usually a movie that we've seen before. We don't want to take our chances and watch a bummer of a movie on Halloween night, so it's usually something really atmospheric, really fun, something that is nostalgic. Maybe Haunted Mansion's been in the mix, the first Conjuring movie, a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, something like that. So we eat chili and we watch a movie, and that's what our Halloween night looks like. So back to the tag. And question number 9 is, what does Halloween mean to you? And it means a whole lot. I mean, if you're watching this video, if you are a part of the Halloween or horror or spooky season community, then you know this community is absolutely awesome. I love the passion that all year round people have for spooky season and all things horror. So that's just really great, having a sense of community. I have met some of my very best online friends through this community, so that's really incredible. I also think that there is such a childlike joy and nostalgia for me. Just looking back as a kid, I was going trick-or-treating like during the 2000s, so very, very nostalgic for me. So a lot of my choices in decor or searching out things to do for Halloween and stuff like that, a lot of it is really honoring my inner child and doing just fun things and getting involved with the community, whether you're going to local pumpkin patches or Halloween haunts or what have you, just supporting different places in your community, getting out there, engaging with like-minded people. I also think there's something just so beautiful about horror in particular, the way that it allows us to confront our fears. I love that horror allows me to safely grapple with feelings of anxiety and my fears, and there's a bunch of different studies about how people with anxiety use horror as a coping mechanism or a soothing tool, and that's definitely the case for me. It's definitely been such a wonderful thing. I love horror so much, and it has helped me navigate my anxiety as a very, very anxious person. My camera actually overheated during that answer, so I hope that I made sense. I know that I was mid-ramble, but I just love Halloween. I love the emphasis about like the traditions and embracing things that made you happy as a kid, and just continuing to do little things that make you happy as an adult. Halloween and horror just has a very, very special place in my heart. It's actually so funny because when I first started getting real into horror, a lot of my family was like, this doesn't make any sense, because I used to be the kid who I wouldn't go to a sleepover if they were watching horror movies. I know I said that I liked Ghost Adventures, but I used to be really, really scared of horror movies. So the fact when I really started getting into horror, a lot of my family was like, wait, this is so random, but then we all kind of analyzed together and realized actually no, it's not, because just looking as a kid, I loved things like Scooby-Doo and the Haunted Mansion and Goosebumps and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and all of those things were just percolating in the background. And I've always loved Halloween. I loved as a kid dressing up and getting to experiment and change things about my style. It was like my first experimentation with things like wigs and hair color, which now as an adult you can see that I have very brightly colored hair. So it's a fun holiday to experiment with your own personal style and get to be someone else and dress up in costumes and engage in your horrors and your fears in a very fun way. And just like I mentioned at the beginning of this question, I believe hopefully that I love this community. It's such a passionate community, and I love that Halloween just means something a little bit different to everyone else. So that is the end of this tag. The last question or prompt is to tag other people down below. Lauren already did a great job of tagging a bunch of different accounts, so I don't know if I can add any more that she hasn't already covered, but if you're seeing this and you want to do this tag, please do. I would love to watch it. Or if you don't have a channel, leave some of your answers down below. Let me know, what do you love about Halloween? What are things you're planning on doing this spooky season? Happy halfway to Halloween. Stay safe, stay spooky, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!